Welcome to Christian Statesman. I'm your host, Zach Wagner, and this is episode 105. Is the death of the dollar imminent? A little ballyhooed news piece this past week reminds us that Russia is divesting itself of any and all investments in U.S. dollars. They are cleaning out their portfolio, period. This may not seem like a big deal to the financial wizards out there, but it is an unwelcome precedent. This could be the first of many dominoes to fall that sees the dollar decline as the world's reserve currency. When you consider the International Monetary Fund has already begun issuing loans in its own currency and not dollars, the alarm bells should be going off. We need to prepare and brace. Quick history for those who ponder the meaning of money. Until 1971, the U.S. dollar was a gold-backed currency. That meant you could take your paper dollars and demand an equivalency in gold. That ended as President Richard Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard in 1971. But he did so based on a deal with OPEC nations in which all international oil trade was to be conducted in U.S. dollars. This meant the dollar circulated the globe and became the currency of trade for any nation that wanted oil. The dollar has dominated in international banks, international trade, and many other avenues of business ever since. But its reign may be coming to a close. Most economists would argue that it is the international strength that has kept the dollar strong here at home. We are now experiencing some real inflation, not the limited inflation the strong international dollar prevented in the past. Keep in mind, all fiat currencies eventually inflate and ultimately fail. And this current inflation is gaining momentum because of our increasingly reckless monetary policy. Last year, under the guise of COVID emergency authorization, the Federal Reserve was given authority for unlimited quantitative easing. This is interpreted as the ability to print as much money as they need. And print they have. Reportedly some $19 trillion in the last so many months. We may give a yawn and a so what here at home, but in foreign countries that have to deal with dollars for daily business, there is much concern. They can see the erosion of value coming, and they will undoubtedly want to divest their portfolios of dollars and look for something more stable. The proud optimist would say that there is no better currency, and they have a point. But smart investors are getting away from any fiat currency, sensing the impending meltdown, and are turning to cryptocurrencies and hard commodities such as gold, silver, palladium, and oil. And the more the dollar loses ground as the world's reserve currency, the less value it will have here. Inflation will accelerate and actual real buying power erodes. We are already experiencing the first signs of this. Many analysts who use the old inflation calculations we used to employ in the 60s and 70s, a time when less complicated models told a clearer story, estimate we already have 20% inflation per annum and are climbing. The problem here is, with the dollar under pressure on all fronts, foreign and domestic, we could see a price escalation of most everyday goods at 50% or more before the year is out. Wages are not increasing at anything close to this rate, so our ability to maintain even a minimum lifestyle is threatened. This will instigate a fair amount of social chaos, and those who have not prepared in advance with food and other commodities may find themselves in a pretty tough spot. We at Christian Statesman advocate for personal and home preparation. We do not condone extreme prepping, such as building fallout shelters or spending one's life savings on a cabin in the woods, but we encourage rational storage of food, clothing, fuel, defense implements, and other important stores. We also remind the listener that isolated, bug-out solutions are short-lived. If social order does break down and supply chain items become scarce, a well-coordinated community is far more effective to survive and thrive than an isolated individual or family. We cannot accurately predict all of the consequences of a declining dollar. Again, history suggests things can become pretty unhinged in such circumstances. We can definitively say that if you are not prepared at this point, you had better hurry. Time to prepare is running out fast, if it has not already passed. The seeming calm and normality many people sense is returning. may be very short-lived as these international movements continue. Keep your eye on the dollar. This may be a wild ride. Thank you for being with us. Please subscribe, and as always, have a blessed day.